Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things is just the amount of stuff we have to do during the week. It's normal tournament. You show up and it's kind of whatever your time is, and you plan your day accordingly. And then you get to these team events, and it's all right. Hey, we're leaving at 7, regardless if you want to. We have 3 hours of practice, and then you got this, and then this, and that, and then a bus is leaving at this time, and so you kind of have to fit everything in. So that's definitely say that's one of the surprising things. And then then the other thing is, like, obviously you hear everyone gets really close and they're really enjoy each other, and the camaraderie is great. And until you really experience it, you don't realize that that's really what happens. We spend so much time together. There's so much trash talking and encouragement and rooting each other on. All the great things that happen on teams, it really does happen for Team USA. So those are probably two things. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was an amazing experience. The fans in Colorado really, embraced me and cheered me on, and it felt amazing. I was really bummed how I finished. I would have loved to have won that, or at least had a chance, or just maybe had a little better last few holes. But when I look back at it, I mean, I felt like I made my city and state proud, and I'm bummed that it might not happen for another 5-10 years. Who knows? But all in all, it was an amazing experience, and I had so much fun that week. Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you're at these stages, you kind of gain fans, you grow as maybe a hometown favorite in Colorado, or sometimes for your country. And I noticed when I was there that people were bringing up the Olympics and bringing up Team USA stuff, which is really neat. And so I just I mean, I feel like I've been very blessed in the things that I've gotten to or be able to do, and things like this, continue to add to that. Yeah, it's kind of, it all depends on how I handle the expectations. Everyone else puts a lot of expectations on players as you start having success, and I put a lot on myself as well. But one thing I will say is playing and competing in majors and winning tournaments and playing on these teams makes you want to do it more and more and be part of it all the time. And so it's the best motivator, getting to the top. The biggest thing is you want to stay up there and even climb even higher. So, I'm really looking forward to the challenge. I get a great off season after this event, where I get to work and kind of recap over these last 2 years and go, okay, how can I improve? How can I get better? How can I move from where I am now to even higher up in the world and make sure I make the Ryder Cup team for next year? I've said this in a few interviews. I don't really try to do result goals. I try to do a lot of process stuff, and a lot of things that, getting better in certain areas of my games, So like certain stats I want to get better at, certain things mentally I have to get better at. I really didn't do very well in my par fives this year. Is one thing that really bothered me and gets to me is my scoring chance holes. I thought very poor. And so that's something I look at it this fall, where I'm going to work on, figure out why that is. Okay, was it a mental thing? Is it a technical thing? And then tackle that, and then you set the goal. Okay, this year we were, let's just say, 90th in scoring chances. Let's try to get to 50th. And so that's kind of how I approach the goals. And but it's really a fun part of the year when you forecast what you want the year to be like, set all these goals, and then if you go and accomplish it, it's kind of the most rewarding thing in what we do.
Do you think it's part
Um, it's a tough question. I don't know. I feel like I'd say probably get to the top. I think staying. I don't know. It's a tough question. All I will say is once you get up here, I feel like you play in these events with great players, and I just feel like the confidence and success breeds more success. And being around these really good players and being in these moments, I just think kind of you start owning it, and you have more and more self-belief and confidence that you can continue to do it. Versus maybe a few years ago when I wasn't at the top, you start sometimes doubting your ability to do it. So that's maybe for me. It might be different for other people, but that's for me.
How do you mentioned expectations, like now that you're kind of there, you're at this stage, how do you say kind of for yourself, now that you know you can get there, how do you put these into place?
Yeah, it's been one of the hardest things. I mean, this year I started out very good, playing great golf, and my expectations were awesome. And then, I found myself falling short a couple times to Scotty, actually 3 times, and then I started really focusing on results. And then I got into a lull of not playing as good. And then at the end of the year, I got back into the process of not focusing on the expectations, not focusing on the results. And then I, strung along a handful of top 10s and top 5 finishes, which, kind of was nice to cap the year off that way. So next year, one of my big goals is to try to limit the amount of times that I focus on expectations and scoring. So it's tough. I mean, that is, I think, probably once you get to the top, probably one of the biggest struggles is your expectations or other people's expectations.
What is it like to be on a team with a guy like Scotty, where you've had those 3 weeks where you fell short of him? It's kind of something that's sticking with you.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty's the best player in the world right now, and he's not only a great player, but he's a great human, and I really enjoy being around Scotty and learning from him. I enjoy beating him, but what's great is on a team like this is, now I root for him, which is really fun, and there's so much you can learn in these team rooms and in these practice rounds because, we're the 12 best players in the U.S. right now, and you can just feed off of each other, and guys are willing to give advice and ask questions to learn things, and so I'm trying to be a sponge as much as I can to try to soak those things up.
How much of recalibration is it on your own game coming into this week, knowing that your schedule is not exactly your own schedule?
Yeah, I think it's learning. My first team experience, I didn't know what was happening, and so I expected that I'd have some time to prepare when I got there, and I really didn't. So I felt like I wasn't as sharp as I wanted to be last Ryder Cup. So this time in preparation, I made sure I was prepared. I went and played Napa. I went and practiced a lot more than I did leading into last year's Ryder Cup. So that that helps. But then also it's just now knowing that and having the expectation that, hey, this is a fun week. Enjoy the camaraderie, but when you get a chance to practice and grind, take advantage of it. We don't get as much sleep. It's very busy, and I think just when you get more, I just feel like it's an experience thing. Now I'm getting more and more experience with it, and I'll feel more and more comfortable.
Is it when you enjoy it? There's so much going on. Are you able to enjoy it at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun. This experience thus far for this President's Cup has been amazing. Our bus, it's a long bus ride to and from the golf course, but that's where a lot of fun stuff happens. And then our team room is so much fun. Our matches that we've had against each other has been great. That's really the stuff you remember. Obviously, the competition's fun, and we might look back and you remember a couple things here and there, but a lot of stuff is the fun things that happen in the team rooms and the bus rides and the just the fun jokes and pranks we all play on each other.
You spent some time with the junior President's Cuppers why'd you make sure to chat with them? What type of stuff did you guys talk about?
Well, I mean, first off, they won, so it was huge congrats to them. It was amazing. I don't even know if we had the junior President's Cup teams when I was a junior. We had the Junior Ryder Cup, but not the President's Cup. And it's amazing to represent our country. And I chatted with them because I was that kid one day or back in the day and wanted to be in the position I am now. And I know how much it means for them, and so it was fun to chat with them, and and not saying that I would make their day, but I know that if I was in their position and a tour pro kind of took his time to talk to them, ask questions, get to know them, maybe give them a couple of tidbits, that it would have made my day. So I hope that I did that for them.
Did they ask about ping pong? Who was the best ping pong player?
They did, and Scotty, by the way, has not played any of us, and he thinks he's the best. And I've played most of the guys on our team, and I've waxed all of them, so I want to play Scotty. So I said I was.
A couple other quick ones about teammates, real quick. Who would be most likely to be late?
To be what?
Late.
Late. I mean, Xander and Tony. Xander and Tony are always pretty late.
Who would you least want to pass in the
Oh, Patrick Cantley, for sure. I mean, it would just be the most boring classic rock. I mean, I like classic rock, but it would just be like vanilla music.
Last one is there a swing on your team that you are jealous of or maybe that you love?
On our team, yeah, I mean, it might shock you guys, but I love Scotty. I love Scotty's swing. His setup, I think he has the best setup and face control on our team and in the world. And even though he has crazy foot action, I love what he does with the club and how his body moves. That's a tough question. Here's what I will say. I know that representing Team USA is an amazing accomplishment, and we're all very fortunate to be able to do that. With that said, I think there's a lot of money that's being made at these events, and there's arguments both ways. All I'll say is, if President's Cup or Ryder Cup goes and makes a few $100 million, and we're not getting anything from it, it seems a little unfair. But at the same time, I just feel blessed to be on this team, and I go to the Olympics and there's no money, and I just felt honored to play for Team USA. So honestly, I'm kind of staying in the middle. I get both sides. I'm just happy to be here.
What's it like having, one more question, what's it like having Keegan in this kind of strange role where he's a player who's playing right now, and also now that what's his role?
I mean, it's been awesome, actually. I played a couple of practice rounds with Keegan this week, and I haven't spent much time around him. He's older than me. We're kind of in different walks of life, and he's kind of, not that his career is done by any means, but he's on the back end of his career, and I'm on the beginning of mine, and so it's great to be around him. And he even admitted 5 weeks ago he's like, I was ready to come up here and be a captain, and then it's quickly changed. And the fun thing is he's talked with us about obviously next year and talking about the Ryder Cup, but says, hey, this is a starting block now. This week is huge for Team USA for next year's Ryder Cup, and he's so positive and he's such a great leader, and I'm really excited that he's our captain, and I'm really excited he's on this team. He's playing great golf, and he's had a lot of success in these events. Yep, thanks guys.